Okay guys, so now that we understand a little bit of how we can chain some of the chokes that we've learned, let's focus on chaining our arm attacks. I do believe that it's easier to chain the arm attacks. I just believe that it comes naturally when we go from one arm attack to another, as opposed with the choke. Sometimes there's only one neck, right? So to shift from one choke that's attacking the same neck, you're still attacking the same thing, whereas with the arm attacks, you could shift from an elbow break to a shoulder break to a wrist break, or to even a slicer. So you have a lot of different elements of attack. So again, the separation of attacking one neck with 5 chokes versus, an arm, a wrist, and a shoulder, it's just a little bit different. When we say arm attacks, we're not just referring to the elbow, we're referring to the shoulder, arm, elbow, the shoulder, wrist, elbow, pardon me. So let's look at what I mean. So let's say we're in the down belt. So bring your head here. All right, we should know these arm attacks by now. We pull up. We've kind of discussed this already. Maybe when I start to pull his arm up and I go for a Kimura, I feel like I'm unable to finish the Kimura. And we mentioned this in our Kimura sequence. So from being unable to finish the Kimura, I step my leg over, okay, and I fall into an arm lock. Okay, maybe I don't think I'm going to get the arm lock, so I start to sit up, break his grip, and then I start to attack his wrist, and I'm starting to chain my attacks, right? So we have to understand, and maybe even furthermore from here, he starts to sit up into us, like we mentioned with the arm locks, and we start to attack his back. Okay? Constantly linking things together. There's so many different ways we can do this side. There's so many different ways that we can attack different things, right? Maybe he pushes on our chest, right? And we start to go for the near side arm lock. We're here and here, and maybe we're not able to finish this arm lock. So we start to shift direction, okay? Pull this arm up, and we start to go for the inverted arm lock that we talked about. Okay, maybe from the inverted arm lock, we don't think we're going to get it, so we start to pummel in. Go for the omoplata, and as we get better, because your game is what matters, maybe you do something different from the omoplata. I just want you guys, I want it to be with extreme clarity that you should be able to chain your submissions together. You don't want to just rely on one submission. You want to understand how they connect. So my best advice to you after drilling the positions and understanding the basics of the mechanics is trying to find a less experienced partner and chain submissions together. Roll with them and don't even try to get a submission. Just try to chain the submissions together and let them work their escape, because in that way you can see some natural reaction that you're going to learn to react back to. For example, when I was a purple belt, I would roll with white and blue belts, and I would try and get to knee on belly, get a far side armbar, to a Kimura, to a wrist lock, after that to the back, from the back to the chokes, and continue to elaborate on that until you feel very comfortable with your submission chains.